Hey, everybody, Kelly Orchard here with Mustang Monday, badass tips from the streets. And honestly, this is take 2. so in the car with me is my friend Libby Gill.
Hi there.
She is a colleague of mine, and so we made a commitment today to meet each other in person. We've actually known each other for a little over a year. Mm-hmm. We were part of a digital online speaker marketing group, and once that program was over, there was a handful of us that decided that we wanted to stay together and continue to support one another. So we created a online group that we've been meeting once a month for about a year, and Libby and I, this is the first time we've actually met in person. And so I made the commitment. We're in Laguna Beach, California today.
Where neither of us live.
Libby lives in West Los Angeles, which I do that, and I live in South Temecula, which on a good day without Los Angeles traffic would be a 3.5 hour drive.
Right.
But we decided to meet halfway, which isn't really halfway because we're more coastal, but it's much more pleasant than inland,
right?
To have lunch. And so today's badass tip from the streets, Libby said it perfectly a few minutes ago, was you always, if you have the opportunity to meet a mentor or a colleague in person, because we live in a digital world,
do it.
You need to do it, because I've gotten more out of this lunch with Libby today than a lot of the calls that I make.
That's very kind.
Because it's been great. The energy and the hug was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like 2 old friends, but we've never really met in person.
Exactly.
And it's like, how many of us can say that?
That happens a lot though now, that people that you have Zoom calls with, and in the old days, we're laughing about in the old days versus today. I mean, it was really common that you would have phone relationships with people and then maybe or maybe not ever get a chance to meet. But this is so nice because you just bond in a way and you retain information much more soundly than you do when it's all digital or phone or certainly email or text. So this is awesome.
It's like all those ways of marketing and networking are great, but the in-person, nothing beats it.
Yeah,
nothing really beats it. But I also wanted to talk about you and what you do, because you speak on leadership and you do leadership consulting.
I do. I work with leaders inside companies. I came out of the Hollywood studio world, so I still work with a lot of media companies. I also work with healthcare and manufacturing, all sorts of things. Anytime you've got people and performance, which kind of covers everything, I come in and work with senior leaders in those areas.
And we were just talking about what you're developing into, which is the young, youthful leadership. We had a really good one. It's like, if you've got a name for those millennials, we want to know, because millennials, from what I know, don't like being called millennials.
Well, they've been bashed a little bit, and they've been painted with that millennials are entitled, millennials are this and that, and they're not. They're individuals just like anybody else, but they do share a worldview that is significantly different than the boomers like me. I mean, they grew up where I think our age or boomers up they feel like they're encroaching on our territory, they're moving too fast, they don't pay their dues, all that kind of stuff, which I think is really pretty absurd. That it's just a world that's moved a whole lot faster. That there's new technology every day, there's new information coming from all sides. They can Google anything. There's information that's always at their fingertips. And we've got to recognize that they are moving faster and harness that sense of purposefulness and also that energy and excitement about the world. And I think if we can do that, we get the best of those emerging leaders.
I agree. It's like I raised some millennials, and none of them are what would be considered the bashing part of the millennials. They all have a great work ethic. They all have good attitudes. And so I don't understand, I personally don't understand why millennials get bashed the way they do, but I can understand how some of them have that sense of entitlement. But that's, sorry to say, parents, but that's the way that we raise them.
That's on us.
That's on us. That's on us. But I watched one of your videos because you have a YouTube channel, and I love to do my homework, and I checked Libby out, and you had one where you were saying baby boomers just don't get it. And I think you're right there. So if you're a leader in your business or even in your home, it's like you need to pay attention to the changes that are going on, but you don't have to know all the answers. It's okay to do a little reverse mentoring and let those younger generation mentor you on why things are going so fast or what works well for them. I know I've done it, and it's been tremendously helpful.
Oh yeah, and we taught them, have a voice, speak up, be aggressive, and also, you know, everybody gets a trophy. Everybody's special in their own way. We sort of invented that philosophy. So it's up to us now to listen, to hear some of those ideas, to challenge them creatively, to give them exciting and interesting things to do. If you have a couple of those things in your back pocket and somebody doesn't have something exciting to do and you can challenge them, you've got them. You've got that sense of purposefulness, and you just have to channel it in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I've learned and I've written about is that, you know, the way that you raise your family is pretty much the same way how you operate your business. So how you treat your children and train them up in the world is going to translate into how you do in the business. And so you wouldn't just throw a bunch of food on the table and tell your kids to figure it out. You would either cook them the meal or teach them how to cook and take them grocery shopping. And if you're not doing that with your kids, you better start adulting them right now. You know, but the thing is that, you know, so it's like you need to teach your employees, or if you're whatever the leadership that you are in, you're kind of like the parent for those 8 hours that you have them.
All those things that we assume they know, those go into what I call the don't overlook the obvious category. They don't always know. Somebody that's been in the workforce for 2 years, they don't have the perception and the experience that you do. So we're so aghast when I have one leader who, one of her millennials came forward and said, here's a list of the things I like to do and a list of the things I don't like to do and plan on not doing anymore. Now, for some millennials, they might say, right on, good for you for having that list and speaking up. For boomer leaders, I think most would be appalled, like, how dare you?
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, there is a way that things can be done, and that's where it's up to us to say, you know, this might be more effective. You might want to try this.
Yeah. What do you do with the question when someone says good people are hard to find?
Well, right now, there is some reality to that because we are in the tightest work pool or talent pool that we've been in for maybe 15 or 20 years. So there's truth to that. I think great leaders with great reputations and a good brand for themselves and their organizations will be able to find those people. And I also think you should always be recruiting. I don't care if you're a small, tiny micro business and you have outside vendors that you use, or you're a mega corporation. It is a leader's job to be recruiting. You find that person that you think is going to be gold and figure out where to put them or how to bring them along until you've got a permanent spot.
Totally agree with you on that. That was always one of the biggest questions especially in the field of sales. You know, it's like, how do you find good salespeople? Well, yes, of course you train them, but you've got to always be recruiting.
Whether it's a waiter at a restaurant or somebody waiting on you at Best Buy or a seasoned sales executive, always be recruiting. That's so critical now more than ever.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So any other words of wisdom that you'd like to share?
Oh gosh, just
tons of it. Yes.
Here we are in this Mustang, and you know, it's just a great reminder that, you know, just get out there and go.
Get out there and go. Yes, absolutely. You know, when I got up this morning, I was so excited to be able to go see Libby today, and even though there was a drive involved, and you know, but it's kind of nice to step out of your comfort zone, which is one thing I promote all the time. Is just step out of your comfort zone, even just a little bit, and you'll be amazed at what you discover and find. There's nothing scary about stepping out of your comfort zone.
No, just get out there and be badass.
Be badass.
I've got my sticker right here. I want to be badass.
I got mine on too.
You know, the only thing we're missing, Kelly, is because, you know, I'm from Los Angeles. If we had that green screen behind us with the rolling scenery, that would be so awesome. Yeah. Maybe that's next for Mustang Mondays.
I'll get like a little video screen for behind the car. That won't be obnoxious at all. But you never know. It's like, what do you do with an old car? But you know, like you said, it's kind of pristine. It's been garaged.
Gorgeous.
It's been garaged for 13 years. Yeah. So I love this car. This is my heart car. Well, that's our badass tip from today. Now you're going to say the tagline with me. I'll have to walk you through it.
Okay.
Be bold.
Be bold.
Be brave.
Be brave.
Be confident.
Be confident.
And then say, be badass.